The SOS that awakened humanity's hidden giants. Part 1. The Anomaly and the Awakening. Captain Morgan Chen massaged his temples as he stared at the repeating pattern on the main display. 36 hours of the same signal, and they were no closer to understanding its meaning. The Horizon, humanity's most advanced deep space monitoring station, hung in the void at the edge of the Kuiper Belt. Its array of sensors pointed toward the darkness between stars. "Anything new, Dr. Rivera?" Chen asked, his voice cutting through the hushed conversations on the command deck. Dr. Sofia Rivera didn't look up from her workstation, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface as complex algorithms attempted to decode the signal. "It's definitely artificial, Captain. The pattern is too precise, too deliberate to be natural. But it doesn't match any known human communication protocol." Chen nodded, his eyes fixed on the visualization of the signal, a pulsating blue wave that peaked and troughed with mathematical precision. "And it's coming from the Arcturus sector," Lieutenant Commander Vikram Patil answered from the navigation station. "Specifically, from what should be empty space. There are no registered colonies, outposts, or even exploration vessels in that region." Chen felt a familiar tightness in his chest, the same feeling he'd experienced during the Europa crisis, when 30,000 colonists nearly died because Earth Command hesitated to act. He wouldn't make the same mistake. Send a tight beam transmission to Earth Command. Priority Alpha. Include all our data on the signal. And wake up the rest of the crew. All shifts on deck within 30 minutes. As the command deck burst into activity, Chen stood at the viewport, staring into the void. Something was coming. He could feel it. 3 days later, Chen stood rigid as Admiral Helena Zhou's hologram materialized in the conference room. The Admiral's face betrayed no emotion, but Chen had served under her long enough to recognize the tension in her shoulders. "Captain Chen, we've completed our analysis of the signal you discovered." Admiral Zhou began without preamble. "It's a warning." The room fell silent. Dr. Rivera leaned forward. "A warning about what, Admiral?" "An entity the message refers to as the Scourge. According to the translation, they're a machine intelligence that systematically targets and eliminates emerging spacefaring civilizations. The message claims they detected our quantum communications network 6 months ago and have already dispatched a battle fleet to our system." Chen felt his blood run cold. "Is this credible, Admiral?" Admiral Zhou's expression hardened. "Credible enough that I've been authorized to brief you on Prometheus protocol." The hologram shifted, showing schematics of what appeared to be massive underground facilities beneath the Olympus Mons colony on Mars. 70 years ago, after the resource wars nearly destroyed Earth, our leaders created a contingency plan. If humanity ever faced extinction, we would need defenders unlike any we had before. The schematics changed to show cryogenic chambers containing human forms. Project Prometheus. 300 volunteers underwent extensive genetic modification, neural enhancements, and cybernetic augmentation before entering suspended animation. They were designed to be awakened only in humanity's darkest hour. Chen stared at the images in disbelief. "You're telling me Earth Command has been keeping super soldiers on ice for 7 decades. Not just soldiers, Captain. Scientists, strategists, engineers, people modified to push the boundaries of human potential. And now we're waking them up." Within a week, Chen's orders arrived. The Horizon would be converted into a forward operating base. The first wave of the enhanced humans, officially designated Prometheus operatives, but already nicknamed Titans by the crew, would arrive within the month, along with Earth's most advanced prototype vessel, the EDS Defender. When the Defender emerged from fold space near the Horizon, Chen understood why the ship had been kept secret. Nearly half a kilometer long, its obsidian hull seemed to absorb rather than reflect the distant sunlight. It moved with a grace that seemed impossible for its size, maneuvering alongside the station with precision that made the Horizon's own shuttles look clumsy by comparison. Commander Ilara Drake was the first of the Titans to board the Horizon. Standing over 2 meters tall with shoulders like a weightlifter, she still moved with the fluid grace of a dancer. Her eyes, an unnatural gold, assessed Chen and his crew in seconds. "Captain Chen," she said, her voice a resonant contralto, "your discovery may have saved humanity from extinction." Over the next week, 20 more Titans arrived. Each was physically impressive, but it was their minds that truly set them apart. They absorbed information at rates that seemed impossible, mastering complex systems in hours rather than weeks. Dr. Marcus Reed, the Titan's lead scientist, explained it to Chen as they watched Drake reconfigure the station's defense systems with inhuman speed. "We were engineered for accelerated neural pathways," he said, his silver eyes tracking complex equations that flashed across the screen too quickly for Chen to follow. "Our brains process information differently. It's not that we're smarter. We just think faster, make connections quicker." "And you volunteered for this?" Chen asked, studying the man who appeared to be in his 30s but was chronologically over 100 years old. Reed's expression grew distant. Earth was still recovering from the resource wars. Many of us had lost everything. The chance to serve humanity, even if it meant sleeping for decades. It felt like purpose. The signal returned 2 weeks later, stronger and clearly directed at the horizon. This time, they were ready. The Titan's enhanced capabilities allowed them to decode it fully. A holographic figure materialized on the command deck, humanoid but clearly not human, with translucent skin that shifted colors like an oil slick and 4 arms that moved with hypnotic grace. "I am emissary Kirnax of the Galactic Concord," the alien said, its voice translated through algorithms the Titans had developed. "Your world has been marked by the Scourge. They detect civilizations when they reach certain technological thresholds, particularly quantum communications and fold space travel. You have achieved both." "These Scourge?" Commander Drake asked, stepping forward. "What exactly are they?" "Autonomous weapons created by a long-extinct civilization. They were programmed to prevent any species from reaching their creator's level of technology. For millennia, they have systematically eliminated emerging spacefaring races. Few survive their culling." "But you did," Chen noted. Kirnax's eyes, 6 iridescent orbs arranged in a circle, pulsed with blue light. "Some of us hide. Some adapt. None truly prosper under their shadow. We detected your civilization's emissions decades ago, but could not risk contact until now. The Scourge have already dispatched scout ships to your sector. You have perhaps one of your months before they arrive." Chen looked at Drake, whose enhanced mind was already calculating possibilities. "We need to meet Emissary Kirnax. Exchange information, technology." "Dangerous," Kirnax replied, "but necessary. I will transmit coordinates for a neutral location. Bring only your most essential personnel." The hologram flickered out. Admiral Zhao authorized the mission immediately. Chen would command, with Drake and 5 other Titans accompanying him aboard the Defender. They traveled to an abandoned mining outpost in a remote asteroid field, where representatives from 5 different species awaited them. Kirnax greeted them personally, leading them to a chamber filled with holographic projections of destroyed worlds. 83 civilizations eradicated in the last millennium alone, the alien explained. The Scourge follow predictable patterns, but their technology is centuries beyond anything the Concord possesses. They cannot be reasoned with, cannot be surrendered to. They simply execute their ancient programming with terrible efficiency. "What about weaknesses?" Drake asked, her enhanced mind already analyzing the tactical displays. For the first time, Kirnax's expression showed something like hope. "That is why we contacted you. Humans approach problems differently than any species we've encountered. Your history is marked by warfare, yet also by remarkable innovation under pressure. The Scourge have never encountered a species like yours." Chen felt the weight of billions of lives settling on his shoulders. "Then we'd better start planning." For 2 weeks, humans and aliens worked together, sharing technologies and strategies. The aliens provided detailed information about Scourge ships and tactics, while the Titans devised unconventional countermeasures that the methodical machines might not anticipate. As they prepared to return to the horizon with their new allies, Dr. Reed approached Chen on the observation deck. "You know why we were really created, don't you?" he asked quietly. Chen looked at the enhanced human. "To save humanity. Not just to save it," Reed corrected. "To unleash it. Humanity has always been a species of extremes, capable of terrible destruction, but also incredible creation. The Titans weren't designed to be better humans. We were designed to be humanity without restraint." Chen considered this as he gazed at the stars. "Then let's hope the Scourge are ready for what's coming." The battle for existence. The first Scourge scout ship appeared exactly where Kirinax had predicted, emerging from fold space at the edge of the solar system. Obsidian black and perfectly geometric, it moved with mechanical precision, scanning methodically as it advanced toward the inner planets. On the horizon, Captain Chen watched the incoming vessel alongside Admiral Zhao, who had arrived from Earth with the remainder of the awakened Titans and a fleet of hastily retrofitted warships. "It's alone," Chen observed. Admiral Zhao nodded. "Scouts always come first. They assess defensive capabilities, then report back to the main fleet." Commander Drake stood nearby, her enhanced eyes tracking the alien ship's movements on the holographic display. "Then we need to make sure it reports exactly what we want it to." The plan was deceptively simple. Rather than destroying the scout, they would allow it to observe carefully staged defenses, outdated technology, and predictable tactics that would make humanity appear less advanced than they truly were. Meanwhile, the Titans and their most advanced ships, including the Defender, would remain hidden in the shadow of Neptune. When the scout approached Mars colony, Earth forces engaged it with conventional weapons, putting up a fight that seemed desperate but was meticulously choreographed. The scout easily evaded their attacks, scanning their ships thoroughly before retreating to report back to its fleet. "Now we wait," Admiral Zhao said, "and finish preparations." For 2 weeks, the combined forces of Earth and the Galactic Concord worked tirelessly. The Titans, with their enhanced capabilities, integrated alien technologies with human systems in ways neither species had imagined possible. Dr. Reed led a team developing specialized quantum disruptors designed to target the Scourge processing cores, while Drake trained mixed human-alien combat teams. When the main Scourge fleet arrived, 8 massive ships arranged in perfect geometric formation, humanity was ready. The machines followed their programming exactly as Kirinax had predicted. They bypassed the outer defenses, dismissing them as insignificant based on their scout's report, and headed directly for Earth. They never detected the ambush until it was sprung. The Defender, commanded by Drake, struck first. It emerged from concealment behind Triton, with weapons blazing, hybrid systems that combined human nuclear technology with alien energy manipulation. The lead Scourge ship's shields faltered under the unexpected assault. "All ships, execute Pattern Omega," Admiral Zhao commanded from the horizon. The Earth fleet, hidden within the rings of Saturn, launched their attack. Unlike the decoy forces the scout had observed, these ships employed erratic, unpredictable maneuvers that confused the Scourge's targeting systems. The aliens had warned that the machines thought linearly, unable to adapt quickly to chaotic battle tactics. For the first time in recorded history, the Scourge were on the defensive, but the machines were still formidable. The momentary advantage of surprise faded as their superior firepower began to tell. 3 Earth vessels were vaporized in rapid succession as the Scourge adapted to the human tactics. "They're recalibrating faster than we anticipated," Dr. Reed reported from his station on the horizon. "Their quantum processing is evolving in real time." Chen watched as the Defender took a direct hit, its starboard section erupting in flames that quickly extinguished in the vacuum. "We need to deploy the disruptors now, before they fully adapt." Drake's voice came through the comm, steady despite the chaos visible behind her on the Defender's bridge. Defender moving into position. Disruptor teams standing by. The plan called for the Defender to get close enough to the Scourge command ship to deploy the quantum disruptors. Devices designed to create localized reality fluctuations that would overload the machine's processing cores. But with the Scourge adapting so quickly, it seemed impossible. Then Lieutenant Commander Patel spoke up. "Captain, I have an idea." Chen turned to the navigation officer. "I'm listening. The Scourge are adapting to our tactics, but they're still machines. They think in algorithms, probabilities. What if we do something completely irrational? Something no algorithm would predict because it makes no tactical sense." Chen stared at him. "What did you have in mind?" 10 minutes later, Chen found himself aboard a small maintenance shuttle, piloting manually toward the heart of the Scourge formation. Behind him, 3 junior officers operated what amounted to little more than scanner equipment and emergency thrusters. "This is either the bravest or stupidest thing I've ever done," muttered Ensign Park from the sensor station. "Sometimes they're the same thing," Chen replied, his hand steady on the controls as they weaved between massive energy beams. The Scourge completely ignored them. Their algorithms, designed to target threats based on weapons capability and defensive systems, registered the maintenance shuttle as insignificant, no more worthy of attention than space debris. As they approached the command ship, a massive hexagonal structure that dwarfed even the Defender, Chen activated the comm. "We're in position, Commander Drake. Execute Phase 2. Across the battlefield, the Defender and 3 other Earth vessels suddenly broke formation, accelerating directly toward the largest Scourge ships in what appeared to be a suicidal charge. The Scourge responded predictably, concentrating their fire on these new threats. With the enemy's attention diverted, Chen's shuttle slipped unnoticed into a maintenance dock on the Scourge command ship, a vulnerability Kira Nax had identified from previous encounters. "Deploying disruptors," Lieutenant Kim reported, her voice tight with tension as she activated the devices Reed's team had created. The quantum disruptors were beautiful in their simplicity. Rather than attempting to hack or destroy the Scourge systems directly, an impossible task given their technological superiority, the devices created localized quantum field disruptions that forced the machine's processors to handle impossible calculations. "Disruptors active. We have 3 minutes to clear the ship before they detonate," Kim announced. Chen guided the shuttle out of the dock, accelerating away from the massive vessel. Behind them, the first effects of the disruptors became visible as sections of the command ship flickered in and out of phase with normal space. "All ships, clear the engagement zone," Admiral Zhao ordered. "Quantum detonation imminent." The human and allied forces broke contact, accelerating away from the Scourge formation. The machines, their command structure compromised by the disruptors, responded sluggishly, their once coordinated movements now erratic. When the disruptors reached critical mass, the result wasn't the explosive destruction Chen had expected. Instead, the Scourge command ship simply unraveled. It was as if reality itself rejected the vessel's existence, pulling it apart layer by layer until nothing remained but scattered particles. The effect cascaded to the other Scourge vessels, their networked systems sharing the fatal computational errors. One by one, they dissolved into the void. Aboard the Horizon, the command deck erupted in cheers as the last Scourge ship disappeared from their sensors. But Chen knew, as did the Titans and their alien allies, that this was only the beginning. They had destroyed a single fleet, but somewhere in the darkness between stars, the main Scourge force was waiting. As the Earth forces regrouped, Chen found himself in the observation lounge with Commander Drake and Dr. Reed. The 3 stood in silence, watching as repair ships attended to damaged vessels. "It wasn't the Titans that won this battle," Drake said finally. "It was Lieutenant Commander Patel's irrational plan. A plan no enhanced human would have considered because it defied all tactical logic." Reed nodded. "That's the irony of our existence. We were created to save humanity, but it's humanity's unpredictability. Its chaos, that may prove to be its greatest strength. Chen thought about the maintenance shuttle mission. 4 ordinary humans in what amounted to a space tugboat, taking on an advanced machine race. Perhaps that's what Kirinax meant when they said the Scourge had never encountered a species like ours. Not because of our technology or even our titans, but because of our illogical, irrational human nature. The Scourge will return, Drake said, her enhanced eyes fixed on the stars. And they'll be adapted to our tactics. Then we'll change the tactics, Chen replied. That's what humans do. We adapt, we evolve, we survive. As if on cue, a communication alert sounded. Admiral Zhou's voice came through the speaker. Captain Chen. Commander Drake. Dr. Reed. Report to the command deck immediately. We're receiving transmissions from 17 different species across 3 sectors. Word of our victory is spreading. Chen exchanged glances with the 2 titans. It seems the galaxy is watching us now. Good, Reed said with a smile that contained equal parts determination and anticipation. Let them watch. Let the Scourge watch. Humanity has awakened, both its slumbering giants and its underlying potential, and we're just getting started. As they walked toward the command deck, Chen felt a new sensation replacing the weight of responsibility he'd carried since the alien signal first appeared. It was something he hadn't felt in a long time, something that had been in short supply across the galaxy if Kirinax was to be believed. Hope. The Scourge had never encountered humans before. They were about to learn why that was a mistake.